How's it going, guys? I'm going to tell you guys a little story about this truck that I'm in. So to get this started, I want to tell you guys a little bit about it before I get outside because it's windy out here and I don't know how well the audio is going to work. But when I got this truck, the intention was that we were going to haul a camper and live in that for a while. And we didn't know if we were going to want to upgrade to a bigger, nicer camper. So we got a dually. I've had my sights set on a dually, and just in case, no matter what, we can haul it. I got a CDL I can drive. I can haul whatever kind of trailer we got. So that was the plan. We started with my father-in-law's camper, and it wasn't all that big. A F-250 single rear wheel would have hauled it just fine. So this truck was a little bit overkill for that thing, but you know, just in case. Anyways, we were on a time crunch because we had to leave Texas. I hadn't even sold the house yet. We had to leave Texas for my wife's job to come up here to Kansas City. And I didn't have a lot of time. I had to get a truck. I had to get it right then. This is what I could get. Now, it looks freaking awesome. It's a big 6-inch lift. It had 37-inch tires at the time that we have now stepped down to approximately 35-ish. It's not, it's the metric whatever measurement. I don't know what it is, but roughly a 35-inch tire now on pretty big wheels. The dually tires stick out from the fenders. It's that freaking big. Really dark tinted windows. It doesn't look that bad from the inside, but from the outside, it's a dark window. So this is kind of an intimidating looking truck, and everyone's like, oh yeah, you really had to buy that one, didn't you? Like, well, I kind of had my hands tied. This truck has some miles. It has some damage on it. It's what I could get approved the quickest just to get out of there. So anyways, I got this truck, and not long after having it, anytime we're on like a longer drive going up a hill, not pulling anything, just us in the truck, we go up a hill. Like, we went out to Possum Kingdom Lake for fun one day, and it kept going into lower power mode, and it was sending codes, and I looked it up. I wish I could remember what that code was so I could help you guys out with this, but basically, with a code reader, it was coming out to a large fuel leak. So after some Googling and troubleshooting, what was happening was there is a demanded fuel pressure at the manifold, the high pressure. From the injection pump to the injectors, there's a demanded number, and then there's a reading of a sensor of the actual number. And when those two numbers are far enough apart, it thinks there's a fuel leak, right? That would make sense. Like, well, you're telling your pump, I need this much pressure, but you're only getting this much. Must be a leak somewhere. Well, the pump was failing. It's the good old CP4 disco party. Oh, yeah. Well, since it was already crapping out, and most people online are saying that they don't kind of just slowly die, they just kind of die. There's no disaster kit. There's none of that gonna happen. It's already dead. So I rolled the dice and I got the DCR pump conversion kit. I got it from extremediesel.com through Affirm even. Like, I mean, I paid most of it down, but I affirmed a few payments. Anyways, I did that job. We did the DCR swap. And I decided that while everyone's gone for a day... Oh my gosh, sorry, there's sirens. I'm going to pause this, hold on. Sorry about that. Anyways, so I went for this job, and I don't have a whole lot of tools in my garage. I didn't have a lot of tools in my garage. I've worked on stuff. I've worked on airplanes. I've worked on people's cars. I've done some limited stuff with diesel trucks before. I kind of know how to use a wrench, you know, but I'm not a master mechanic. I'm shade tree at best by myself. That was a freaking job. Anyone who's ever pulled an intake off of a 6.7 Powerstroke knows that that freaking sucks if you don't have every little crazy tool that like a Ford guy would have at the dealership, man. Like that sucked. It took hours just to get everything off the damn thing, and then let alone installing it. So you gotta take everything apart. You're taking fuel lines apart. You're taking the vacuum pump off. You have to time the new pump. Like, it's ran by a gear. You have to like time that, and the instructions are mostly pretty good on how to do all that. So the install went okay, but what I didn't do, which was in the instructions, but after 12 plus hours of me trying to just crank this out with no real brakes, I reinstalled this thing without putting thread locker on the vacuum pump bolts. Yeah. So at 2 in the morning, I have it all together. I'm plugging everything in. I'm putting everything together. I literally sat in this seat with the key in my hand and I just prayed, because we're moving. We got to go get this camper. We got to move this. All of our lives depend on what I just did in my driveway. And I'm praying to God that it starts, right? So I put the key in, I prime it like 10 freaking times. Oh, apparently my wife's home. That's nice. I'll have to go see her soon. Anyways, I prime it like 10, 12 times and crank it. It starts right up. I'm like, thank freaking Jesus I did it. I get out of the truck, I leave it running. I kind of walk around. I'm dog ass tired. And about 10 seconds into this truck running, waterfall sound. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. I throw the hood's already open. I throw shit out of my way. I go in there. There's a couple lines I hadn't tightened good enough. Like high pressure fuel lines. I crank them real quick. I'm looking. Everything's good. And then another waterfall sound. Oh my God, now what? I look under, oil. All the oil the truck has is now just gushing down my driveway, which is a slope, by the way. What is it, like 12? I don't even remember how many quarts of oil. Oh my God, it was so much oil. So bad. It was so much. Disaster. So what I didn't do is I didn't tighten down those bolts good enough on the vacuum pump with thread locker, and the vacuum pump just kind of popped a little bit and all the oil came out. And once I figured it out where it came from, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. I just cannot do this right now. I got right back out the next morning. I tore all that shit back off, not the intake and everything, but take the fan back off, the fan bracket back off, everything, just to get under there, and tightened it back down. It held oil. It leaked. It would leak oil, but it held. Drove it around. It kept leaking. Oh my gosh, did it just keep leaking? Everywhere I went, it just leaked oil. But it held most of it. Went and got the camper. We made the move up to Kansas City. One random day, while I'm driving my semi truck for work, I don't know how many hundreds of miles away. Apparently my wife says that it just gushed all the oil out on the concrete pad by the camper. So I came home, I tore it all off, I tightened the bolts back down again. I didn't have I knew that I needed the thread locker, but I didn't have any, and I had to fix it right then and there. So I tore it all off again, tightened the bolts, put it all back on, held but kept leaking. And that's where we're at. I've done this 3 times now. Just not that long ago, the leak started getting worse. I was like, I'm going to tear it all off. I'm going to put thread locker on it this time. I'm going to put it all back, and it's going to be freaking done with leaking oil, because the oil drips on all sorts of crap underneath the front end of that truck, and it gets on the exhaust after a while when we're doing a long drive, and it smokes. Like, if that back window's open, we can smell burning oil in here because it's that bad. So I finally did that job again a while ago, and one of the 4 bolts freaking broke. I'm putting thread locker on them. I'm tightening them. I'm not tightening them too much, but one of them starts getting a little bit tighter than I think it should too soon. And right as I'm starting to realize, like, maybe not, maybe stop, bam, broke. While I'm hesitating, not pulling very hard on it, it just snapped. I had 3 of the 4 tightened down with Loctite. And the one that's like underneath the alternator to my left, the truck's right, that one was like kind of halfway tight and broke. It wasn't even in all the way. So now I have to get an easy out. Hopefully I can get that bolt to come out without tearing up the threads of the hole. So we're at leaking point now. The other 3 bolts are not going to come out, I don't think, because I put thread locker on them. I got them good and tight, nice and snug. It's just there's not even clamping force, so it leaks. Not quite as bad as it did, but it leaves oil everywhere I park this. Every parking spot at this apartment complex has oil on it from me, and it sucks. So one of these days I'm gonna have to rip all that back off, and then I'm gonna have to get an easy out, and hopefully I can get that screw to come out. Otherwise, it's a whole new front timing cover. I'm not doing that by myself. That's gonna be a few $1,000s at a dealership. They got to take all the accessories off, including the water pump. I'm pretty sure it might be part of the timing cover, I don't know. But I believe the oil pan also has to come down for that timing cover to come off, I think. I'm pretty sure. And the oil pan is a 2-piece, which might require transmission. Like, it's a big freaking job to fix this if I can't do it. Yeah. So it's just gonna leak for now. We're just gonna leak oil a little bit for a while until I bite that bullet. But I'm gonna pop the hood. I'll kind of point at what I'm talking about, and I'll show you guys a little more. So yeah. All right, this is it. It's a 2017. It's not the cleanest. It's got some paint chips here, kind of everywhere. The wheels, I believe, are a brand from the Dallas area. They're not like a big national brand. I think it's still on stock shocks and everything. This thing rides pretty rough, but it's got a Pro Comp lift on it. Yeah, F350 dually. Pretty big lip on these wheels. The tire poke is pretty out there. And then, to my delight, this truck, ignore that. I got some stuff in the back, but there's a ball there, and you can see the pucks. This thing came with the puck system for the Ford fifth wheel from Reese. I had to do some searching to figure out that they even offered such a thing. But you can option a Ford Super Duty with a fifth wheel puck system, and you can get a Reese fifth wheel hitch that says Ford on it that goes right into that puck system. Well, I just happened to find one before we moved, and I bought it for just a couple $100 from a guy on Facebook, and it went just right in there. Beautiful. So, yep, there's that. It's got stock exhaust, it's stock everything. minus the DCR pump. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the hood here and we'll take a look. All right, I had to prop this up with my kids' karate stuff, but yeah, so luckily there's like little hitch things on the front that I can stand on to help me get up here. But it's got stock intake, stock everything. But to get to that pump back there, I have to take the fan off. Gosh, you really can't see down in there at all. But there is, the vacuum pump is right down there where this hose is leading to. So this comes out, get the fan off, get the bracket off, and it's right there. The only thing that sucks is just getting that fan off without having a wrench big enough. But yeah, it's factory everything, not deleted yet. Keyword yet. We'll get there though. So, yep. This is her. Just thought you guys would like a story time. Thanks for watching, bye.